What's up, YouTube? It's me, Anthony Castillo, with you guys. Another talk for you guys. So this one right here is gonna have a quick, fast, and just internal conversation that we're gonna have here. So what the topic is this gonna be about? I want to do a QPT. Okay, the talk here is gonna be a QPT, because we're going to really start to get into a little bit more complex, but go back to those conceptual ideas. Remember my other talk, concept, idea, but this one's going to be a QPT, because when I recognize a lot of us out there, especially in healthcare professionals, they actually have this thriving motive that as they find ways to communicate with each other, they often use like CBT, DBT, LMT, or APRN, NP, PCP. They use these letters, right? They use these very intricate letters that even as dancers or as movers and or people that integrate their bodies and really in tune their bodies, they use numbers too. They use, simple 8 counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's how choreography is actually built or developed for a certain movement. So this topic in this talk is going to be real fast. It's a QPT. Something that I have currently, which I am certified for, is a QPT. And if you don't know what that is, that's kind of the intent of the reason why this talk is here, because it's to kind of look at the very deep analysis of spirituality and how spiritual influence, I would say, or however you want to say that, utilize other methods outside of traditional ideas or developments that were out there before. If you saw my 909, kind of relates to 1111. That's kind of like an algorithm out in the universe where people use like 1111, make a wish. 909 was actually something that I, the time I was born. So anyways, aside from that, this talk, QPT, if you have never noticed in the way people think of the word analysis, they sometimes will speak and either flip a paper. If you watch either, very interesting politicians and how they talk and communicate on the news, you'll notice that, they'll have maybe a table of papers and they'll simply just flip a paper. And that often may be a tactic or a particular gesture that, as they're speaking, they flip a paper to kind of make known of a particular research analysis. Now, I'm not here to put words in a salad, but I want to challenge you guys with what you see at times when you think of, QPT, or where is QPT coming from? And also, if you don't know what your CIP is either, that makes it more of a challenge for the emotional state to the whole body in itself, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, and other parts of the body, is trying to understand that, because we sometimes run off a auto-suggestion of thoughts out there. Sometimes we look at thoughts like, doctors, right? Doctors have 2 letters, DR, and over their name. Or sometimes we look at professors, PhD. So some of us look at that PhD as a type of higher, education, higher critical thinking, stuff like that, higher of that sense. Well, anyways, aside from that, the purpose of the talk is is to give you guys a little bit of a challenge of what are your QPTs? What are your QPTs? And the reason that's integrated with spirituality is to help inform many other aspects as well, because spirituality, as I get more in depth with speaking and also giving you guys more concepts, ideas, it's going to be crucial to understand more and more with spiritual embodiment and also liminal spaces, because you're going to transition into new liminal spaces, and we're all going to transition as we continue to move and evolve. Because unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, but at times this is sometimes a reality. Some of us don't have it, some of us do. My parents don't have YouTube. They're not influencers or anything like that, and they're a beautiful marriage, been married forever. Literally forever. They've been married forever. And so, and they're not influencers, but they have a successful life. They live a beautiful, successful, peaceful life. And so it is possible to go different routes, I guess, to not be an influencer or be on YouTube, and those that want to go in that direction and kind of just use their creative outlook, it is possible too. So that being said, guys, QPT, remember to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.